Yo guys, what's up? It's your boy, the Kiki Gangster here, coming guys today with some great news for you guys. I'm going to be having so much time to make more YouTube videos, and the dating app videos are going to be making a comeback like some of you guys suggested to me, but unfortunately I was in a relationship, so I couldn't be swiping through dating apps for you guys. My girlfriend, they were misogynistic. Whatever, whatever. But I just wanted to talk about my first relationship and my first breakup with you guys. Give you guys a little bit of the rundown of my feelings about things. I've talked to my parents and my friends about all this, but I figured it's important to talk to you guys as well. Maybe we can rekindle our fire that we had, me and my subscribers. Am I right, guys? We can rekindle. We can catch up, right? Me and my subscribers, hopefully. But so here's the thing, I got into my first relationship. It was only a couple month relationship. Our first date was on February 6th, my birthday of this year. So right when I turned 22, I had my first date, and then I lost my virginity 6 days later. On our third date, we became official on our third date. We really rushed into things, which I thoroughly enjoy. I really don't think I could stick out the talking stage with some hoe for that long and be non-monogamous. Months into talking to somebody, it just seems very weird to me. I very much enjoy being exclusive early on in the talking stage. It might be centered around the fact that I'm very marriage centered, and I don't really do the whole dating game that much. But yeah, so I got into my first relationship when I was 22, and so I had lots of anxiety about being alone for each other for forever, and being a virgin was really eating at my head at the time. Being an incel was really eating at my mental health at the time, and yeah, so. Basically, the first thing that they don't tell you about dating and breakups is people talk about this honeymoon phase during the first month or so, where everything is just perfect, and you just love spending time with them because everything's going good. You guys haven't had any arguments yet. You guys are learning. You guys are going on a bunch of exciting dates, and everything is super great. First of all, it's called the honeymoon phase, right? It's easy to love that person and everything. Oh, I got 12 bullets left. What's this guy gonna do? Alright, but what they don't tell you about the honeymoon phase is I feel like you sort of love yourself a lot more as well during the honeymoon phase. It's a lot easier to love yourself because you're taking yourself out a lot in a way. You're spending a lot of time with doing things that you love doing, and along with that you have a person that's there to support you now. And yeah, so it's basically stepping into an elevator in life, and that elevator is going to rise you, and you're just going to a new floor, and it's pretty fantastic, to be honest. You're rising, and then some arguments start to happen and it gets rough. But what they don't tell you about the first break up is basically you're going to be crashed into the first floor immediately, and you're going to have to learn to walk yourself back up the stairs. And after some time in an elevator, just being back on the first floor and then trying to walk up all those stairs by yourself again, it's going to be very excruciating. I mean, depression is very common post heartbreak depression. You're going to have a loss of appetite. Most people have loss of appetite. Sleeping problems, still being attached to them, because in your head you're still with that person, you still love that person. It's not like you can just lose feelings the second they lose feelings for you. The second they run back to their ex or something, it's not like that. So you're still going to be attached to them, you're still going to try to work things out, and you're going to do your best until you really realize that person just does not like you at all. Basically, I mean, and then that will leave some questions in your head. It's hey, this person was just telling me I'm perfect, and they just told me that they loved me, and we talked about getting married with each other, and
Secure the bomb.
which is pretty toxic for 2 months, by the way, as well as rushing into things. But you know, they tell you that you're perfect, that they love you, that they can never replace you, that they would always choose you, and particularly that they would choose you over the ex that they ran back to early on in the relationship. Like, hey, you know, you're my rebound, but I would always choose you because I love you, and you know, stuff like that. And then they just run back to their ex, and you just question a lot of things that you were told in the relationship, like like how did that person actually love me if they dumped me so shortly after telling me that they loved me, like literally a day. Like on Sunday she was begging me to stay with her and everything and telling me that I was perfect and begging me to stay with her, and then 2 days later she dumped me and said that there was a 0% chance of us ever getting back together again. So you know it's pretty crazy going through that. Another thing is it will cause you to do a lot of deep reflections. It will really show you the things that you need to change about yourself and in your own life more than anything else can show you that. That's for sure. Because a lot of times you just don't really realize what's wrong with you on the romantic way, because there's just no way to realize that unless you've been in a romantic relationship before, and things that you need to fix to take into your next relationship. But yeah, so you do a lot of deep self-reflection, toxic traits that you might have, toxic attachment styles that you might have, rather that it's likely going to be anxiously attached if you're going into your first relationship at an older age like I did. I mean, you're very unlikely. I don't know if anybody could be avoidantly attached in their first relationship. Maybe I feel like, yeah, people say like, oh, like relationships are actually so much work, I don't want to be in a relationship, and so then they break up. So yeah, avoidantly attached. But you learn about the attachment styles and you learn about all of this different philosophy a little bit too late. You learn about the psychology a little bit later than you should have. You know, you try to you try to heal your partner's wounds a little bit too late. Speaking of healing your partner's wounds, the girl... if the girl ever says that you treat her better than anybody else has before, that is not a good sign, because it likely means that she did not demand any better, that she did not demand better than you before, and she will get overwhelmed, overbeared, and tired of all of the things you're giving her, and she will basically, leave you in order to get less, because since she's just never received that before, she's just not going to be used to it. She's going to be overbeared, and so there's that aspect to look into it. Another thing is learning what is important to you, and especially when it comes to religion, is definitely a number one thing. Politics, I feel like people think politics are important, but they're really not, because you can't influence politics. And people are like, oh, well, I want to raise my kids conservative, I want to raise my kids with liberal beliefs. But it's like, your kids will not should not have political beliefs before the age of like 13, 14. They'll start asking more questions about different morals, and then you can help guide them, but ultimately speaking, they're going to decide that for themselves one day anyway. So I don't think political differences are that important, but your partner might think that they are down the road, so it is a big red flag to look forward to, and have that discussion with your partner, like, hey, you want to raise your kids and with a certain type of view, but religion is important for yourself, because if you love Jesus Christ, right, if you're strongly Christian, if you're strongly Catholic, or really any other religion, and your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, if you're a girl watching this, if they're atheist, and so this a very important relationship to you, like the number one most important relationship in your life, the relationship that you have with your God, if that's going to be awkward or bad, or taboo to talk about around the person that you love spending the most physical time with, and the person that you're with 24/7 in a sense, and the person you talk with every single day. If it's bad to bring up the number one most important thing to you, or the number one most important relationship to you, which is God, to that person, then it will push you. That person will basically draw you away from God, and that's not going to be very good. It's not going to be very good for you long term. You're going to realize that, like a couple months into it, it's going to cause arguments, and it's going to cause you maybe some more anxiety, and it's going to make you feel overwhelmed because you've lost that relationship with your number one in life, basically, which is the relationship with your God. And so you're going to regret losing that a little bit too late. But yeah, when you break up, you're going to realize that you were drawn that far away from your God. And the Bible says that you must date somebody that is equally yoked. But the same thing goes for an atheist, because if you're an atheist and you don't want to hear about other people's religions, you can say, fine, you respect other people's religions all day long. But do you really want a partner that is going to sit there and try to fix every single thing through Christ? Are you actually going to want a partner that doesn't turn to therapy, that may not turn to the same solutions that you do, and vice versa? Do you really want a person that will never ever turn to God in hardships? Do you want a person that is never going to pray for the strength of your guys' relationship? Do you want a person that's never going to pray for your success and happiness? Do you want a person that is never ever going to pray for you? But on the atheist side of things, do you want somebody that's always going to pray? Do you want somebody that anytime you have any sort of problem, they're going to turn to prayer and they're going to trust in Christ Jesus? And that is going to cause some major conflicts in your relationship. So I'm telling you guys, be religiously equally yoked in your relationship. It doesn't matter if you're atheist or Christian. If you're an atheist, you should be looking for other atheists, because that means you're also going to have equal problem-solving abilities. And that's a major thing. And working things out is going to be much more equal if you're an atheist dating another atheist. And so there is that causes a massive difference, guys. And you could say love overcomes all barriers, but I'm just saying early on that might be a sign to look for and avoid, because you're going to be drawn away from your beliefs. If you're religious, you're going to be drawn towards the atheistic side of things, so whether you think so or not, because it's going to be bad. It's going to be awkward to talk about it 24/7. Basically, it's going to be awkward to talk about for the rest of your life. If you decide to marry an atheist woman, you will never be able to comfortably talk about your God ever again. So that it will take the comfort away from your relationship with God, and it's just completely different conflict solutions. So that's one thing you gotta look for, is the differences in religion. So yeah, that's one thing to look for. I already said don't because so many men, the first time that they're told by a woman, no guy has ever treated me this well, they're going to think, oh yay, I'm the favorite customer. But think about it this way: if a restaurant was handing out free cheeseburgers to every single customer before you, and there was a line out the door, you waited 25 minutes in line for the cheeseburger, and then you get to the counter, and then the restaurant tells you that's going to be $12.99, sir, you have to have the respect. I just committed suicide. My bad, guys. You have to, I committed suicide because I was talking about that, really. But this guy's gonna come save me. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But you have to have the respect to walk out of that restaurant. You cannot sit there and think that, oh, this restaurant is going to respect me so much as their customer after I pay for it. It's just really not true. It's really not true, unfortunately. And that's a very derogatory way to be thinking about it. But I'm just telling you guys right now that the woman is not going to appreciate that forever. She's going to get overwhelmed, overbeared by it, and she's going to leave you for something that's less. Because less is freeing to her. Less allows her to breathe, basically. So it's a very huge red flag if a woman says that she's never been treated well in a relationship because she's never demanded well and she's going to be overbeared by you. But I already talked about all that. Whew. So, yeah, I've just been pretty depressed recently, and obviously I know the smart thing to do is to take time for myself, but I have so much anxiety that I'm never going to be able to find another girlfriend again because it took me so many years to find my first relationship. Like, if you're 22 when you find your first relationship, you're going to have that anxiety that it's not going to happen a second time, or that she's going to be worse than the first one. And yeah, so that, and along with the fact that you're just so desperate to replace the good times with somebody else, so you're definitely going to want to chase a rebound relationship, even though everybody else told you not to. Your ex's grandma told her not to get a rebound when you were the rebound. Both of your parents can tell you not to do it. Every single person around you can tell you not to get a rebound relationship. But you're going to want to chase one anyway, so that's the crazy thing. I feel like I'm yelling a lot in this video. My first video really officially back, guys. I'm out of retirement now. I'm on my grind set now. Oh, but I can't make... dude, I don't even know where my other phone is anymore, which is... like, kind of depressing. Like, where'd my other phone go for real? I really don't know. Hopefully I can charge it and find it and make those dating app videos for you guys. The thing is I already swiped through all of my dating apps in desperation. I swiped through literally every single woman on every single dating app. Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, every single woman. Ooh, it hurts, bro. It hurts when you're first going through the heartbreak, and you will swipe through every single woman after that, bro. You will swipe through every single fucking woman trying to find somebody else, bro. Like I'm, and people will tell you, take some time to heal for yourself. Take your time to get yourself back.
5 seconds to go.
Which you can do in the meantime. You can. I feel like you can do both at the same time. Hey, look for women. Look for women. And when God wants to put a woman into your life, He will. And you just have to trust God's timing until that happens. Definitely take everything back for yourself. This is literally my first game of Rainbow Six Siege without playing with my ex, which is taking Rainbow Six Siege back for myself. And I gotta say, it's not as hard as it feels like, especially talking to you guys. And so don't be don't be surprised if you guys see more gameplay content. I feel like it is easier to play when you're talking to the stream or with a friend. But yeah, just knowing that you played video games, knowing that you did all of your favorite hobbies and activities with your girlfriend, and knowing that she put in the time and effort to do everything with you. She put in the time and effort to learn Rainbow Six Siege with you, and you don't have that anymore. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a little bit hard at first, I promise, guys. But get domed, you fucking fag. I'm sorry, guys. Please don't report that. Please.
Is no longer in your possession.
Ooh. Another thing is, you're going to feel like a real piece of shit after your relationship. You're going to feel like everything, like, your brain will be able to justify the breakup of your relationship. Your brain will be able to tell you that not everything was your fault. Your brain can tell you the things that were wrong with this woman. Your brain can tell you everything like that. But in your heart, you will feel like a piece of shit. You'll feel like everything's your fault. You know, you'll feel like, and this is everybody, by the way, like, no matter how you guys broke up, you'll feel super guilty, unless if you're avoidant or a narcissist or just or past the point of caring for a few months. You'll feel like everything was your fault in a sense. But like in reality, I know. Oh man, we just got swept pretty bad. Like in reality, I know like she was a pretty bad person for me. Like she wasn't there a lot of the time. She was pretty avoidant towards the end of the relationship. We had a ton of arguments. She didn't have a car. She didn't have a job. She couldn't contribute to the relationship at all. She did zero initiating at all. She didn't really care throughout most of the relationship. Or at least it seemed like that. Like she never like initiated anything. Yeah, I did all the paying, all the driving, all the planning. So also it's an interesting feeling to know the fact that my ex is never going to find a man that loves her as much as I do. She is never going to find a man that can put in more effort than I did. There's just physically no possible way that any other man out there can put in more into a woman that I can. I just know that from personal experience. Talking to like what all of my friends would have done. Talking, you know, and I just know that my ex will never ever find a guy that loved her as much as I did and put in as much effort, bought her as much flowers, took her on as many dates, and just did as much as with her and for her as I did. So there is that comfort in knowing that, you know, she can't do better than you. I mean, like realistically, and that's not my ego talking, because I literally did like an overwhelming amount. But like I said, it goes back into the fact that yeah, she's never going to find a guy that will love her as much as I did, and that's a good thing for her, bro. Because like I just said, I loved her an overwhelming amount. I gave her so much flowers, all the time and attention, and all of the dates, and it was overwhelming. So you just gotta pay attention to that when you're entering a relationship, you know? And it's just another thing. Is trying to find all of the lines in a relationship. Trying to see like everything you can do without being too much and without being too little, and just balancing every single line in a relationship can be quite exhausting. But like, if you have good communication, it helps, and we just didn't have that good communication, and so it hurt. But yeah, just trying to find all the good lines and stuff. And another thing is when a woman says this line, "I just need some space to work on myself. I just need some space. I just want a break." If a woman ever says that, she's breaking up with you, dog. She just means that she does not love you anymore and she wants to go fuck another guy. She either wants to go fuck her ex, or she wants to go fuck that male friend she she told you not to worry about because he was just a friend. She wants to go fuck somebody, basically. She doesn't love you, she wants to go fuck somebody else. She hasn't loved you for weeks or for months in the relationship. That's what "I need some space to work on myself" means. And I know that from all of my friends. You might see these idolizing TikToks that say going no contact works, and oh, I got my ex back after 3 months. I got my ex back. Now we're happy together. But you're looking at maybe 2%, maybe 2% of any. It's sort of like the news too. There's a reason why that is on the news, bro. There's a reason why it's advertised, and it's because it's not the likely outcome. The likely outcome is not pushed to the public. But out of all of my friends, you know, well, I guess like the one friend I talked to, but you know, just out of every other story I've heard, when a woman says that she needs space, that means she does not like you, bro. And you're going to chase her. You're going to when she says that she needs space, you're going to chase her for about a week and see if there's anything you can do to repair the relationship. And when you're trying your best to repair the relationship, you're going to push her further away from you, because the thing is you're going to look sad and you're going to look desperate, and sad and desperate is like the anti romantic chemicals, and so she just will not see you. She's going to see you less and less and less and less and less romantically. Basically, you're going to be pushing her away from you while you're trying to repair your relationship, and then it's going to drive you into a hole. And that is what it is. And the thing about taking breaks with people is you really, like, I really do implore you guys, if a woman ever says she needs space and she needs a break, I implore you, if you have enough self-respect, to walk away, because she's saying that she does not love you enough to work through her problems with you. She's saying that she does not respect you enough to stay through with all of her problems, and she does not want to work on herself with you. And so again, it's just another way of saying she doesn't want to be with you, because if she did want to be with you, she would want to work through her problems with you 100% of the time. You know, a husband and a wife, for example, is in sickness and in health. You'll never hear a husband or wife saying that they need some space to work on themselves for a bit. It's very, very rare. So, guys, space is literally just a keyword for I don't like you. I lost feelings for you, and it's going to be a hard one. It's going to punch you. It's going to stab you. It's going to rip your heart out. It's going to give you the depression. It is going to make you bed rotted for quite some time. It's going to make you either lose sleep or sleep for 11 or 12 hours. It's going to make you lose appetite. It's going to make your gut literally twirl. You know, it's just going to give you physical sickness when you hear that. But it is what you needed to hear in that moment, okay? Let's just take a collective to say a quick prayer in the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Christ Jesus, I hope you heal me from all of my wounds and within this relationship, and let me love another woman, and let that woman love me as soon as it possibly could be. I ask that you bring romantic life upon me and anybody else going through this, God, the Lord. I ask that you heal them and get them through it as well, whatever the best possible case scenario may be.
10 seconds to go.
And of course, you know our future, and you know, and I trust God, I trust Jesus, that you are the greatest of planners, and that you will open the doors that need to be opened and close the doors that need to be closed. Every single person that's ever prayed anything in their life knows well that Jesus Christ will close the doors that need to be closed if you ask him that prayer. That is probably the most hurtful prayer you can ever ask Jesus Christ. Ooh, Jesus, open the doors that need to be open and close the doors that need to be closed. And he will cook with that prayer, and it will not be the result that you want. And I feel like if you have to ask Jesus Christ to close the doors that need to be closed, I feel like deep down that means you know that means that at the very bare minimum you have some doubts that the door needs to be open, because if you absolutely 100% knew that a door needed to be open, you would not be asking Jesus Christ to close it if it needs to be closed. There's just no way. So that is a sign that at least your brain, your mental, that you knew that it wasn't going to work out. So, but yeah, guys, my first breakup, I just been depressed, but I guess it feels nice getting back into YouTube and getting to play this game with you guys and getting to talk to somebody. And yeah, I think I talked about everything. I mean, this video's gone on for probably what, like 29 minutes. So Probably gonna get like 5 views. Probably not like I don't know. Oh, if you guys are incels and you are desperately craving losing your virginity, let me rate that experience. Let me rate the sex. Personally, Lexi, my ex, was sexually lazy. I didn't really get, like great head or anything like that. But head is not that great in general. I mean, I can see how some guys would think it is. Intimacy, sex, it is good. It does feel good. That's another thing. That is another thing about the crash of a breakup. I asked both my friends this, and they both said it's completely normal. When a girl breaks up to you, bro, you will physically not be able to get a boner for some time. You'll not be able to jerk off for a long time. You'll never I mean, it depends. If you were over the relationship before it actually ended, you might be able to bounce into, another girl. But until you basically receive attention from another girl, I think you will not be able to be sexually active at all. So the sexual crash is way, way worse than the actual sex is. Like, sex in itself, it's decent. It feels good, especially like when you are about to reach, that point of the end of sex. It feels really nice. It feels decent in general. But it's really not a feeling to be hanging yourself over. It's not a feeling to necessarily, you know what I mean. Is like I understand that, like, you view it from an outsider's perspective because everybody else in society has sort of experienced this thing that you haven't experienced, and it would be sort of like if you've never ate an ice cream cone before. Like, if you've never ate an ice cream cone before, and you see how ice cream cones are, like in movies, and you see like ice cream shops, and you see people eating like waffle cones, and you see people like just enjoying a nice ice cream cone. Like, yeah, ice cream cones are nice, but the thing about sex though is it is like, honestly, like, my shoulders would hurt after it, like my thighs would hurt after it, and same with I've heard the same thing from girls that it hurts sort of a lot. It's not really like it is worth the pain. It is enjoyable. You do have that experience with your partner, but I really don't think it's as good as you think it's going to be, Chief. It's really hard to explain. Like I said, it's like an ice cream cone. Like, you love ice cream cones, right? You love holding the ice cream cone. Like, you enjoy like a nice ice cream cone every here and then. Like a chocolate waffle cone is nice, bro. It really is nice, bro. Like, you want ice cream. There's nothing wrong with ice cream, but it's something that, like, once you have it, you're not. It's really not like worth obsessing over. Like, oh, I love ice cream. Like, even if you are one of those people that have chocolate ice cream every day and you really love it, it's still not like it's still not like worth the it's still not like worth mentally losing yourself over. You would never like mentally lose yourself. You would never lose yourself in life over a chocolate waffle cone. It just sounds ridiculous, right? And so I'm trying to say it's like the same thing. But I mean, it is nice. It is the chocolate waffle cone is nice, Chief. It is nice. It is nice to hit, bro. It is nice to have, bro. But the sexual collapse after a relationship is something that nobody is ever going to talk to you about. But yeah, just expect that you'll never be able to get a boner for like a couple weeks at least. Because the thing is you're going to want to you're going to want to have the sex back basically with your ex that doesn't care about you, and realistically in your head when you're trying to masturbate, you would turn to her, but then you realize that you're trying to jerk off to a woman that absolutely hates her guts and does not and wants nothing to do with you and does not respect you as a man and lost respect for you as a man like weeks or months ago. And just would like doesn't like would not come close to you, and so you're going to start having those thoughts about her throughout the first like couple of weeks until you like move on, and then you're going to realize that she doesn't like you, so you can't masturbate to her because it will ruin things, and then you will never view porn the same way ever again, basically. And so you can't jerk off to that, and then like I said, so you're going to want basically sex with new girls. You're going to want to jerk off to thoughts about different women, basically. But it's the same problem. Like those women don't actually want you, and it's hard to retard. You fucking shot me. But it's hard to masturbate to those women. Because like it feels like in your head that you're moving on from your ex while you're doing it, and that's going to get in your head, and it's going to make it to where you can't get hard for any other women for a long time, basically, like unlike you used to before a relationship. Because used to you would be able to think about other women sexually like all the time because you're a guy, right? like guys can think about other, well, everybody can think about having sex with somebody else. But after a relationship, you just can't because, like I said, you're going to want to go back to your ex. You can't go back to your ex, and then you can't go to porn anymore because you don't feel it the same. And it's very weird viewing porn after a relationship. It's just extremely gross, extremely weird, and it will turn you off instantly. Like the second you hit, the www.p and then hit enter because it's automatically filled out for you. You're going to be turned off the second that homepage comes up, brother. I'm telling you, you will be. So you just can't turn to that. And then you want to turn to future women. But the thought about your ex is going to be with you while you're trying to jerk off to future girls, whether that's your friends or dating apps. And you're just going to be mentally too far in your head. And it's just going to be hard for a long time. It's going to be hard to move on in that aspect for a long time. So be prepared for that if you're in your first relationship right now. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I really love talking to you guys today. I hope we can catch up again soon. It's weird because now I feel like I have a relationship with you guys almost on a deeper level. It makes me appreciate talking to whoever's listening more. And maybe if you have a YouTube channel, it'll be the same. And it made me. I'll tell you this: breaking up, it brought me extremely closer to Christ, especially after dating an atheist. And now I realize that I appreciate the relationship that I have with my viewers a lot more. And you're going to rekindle with old friends. Oh my gosh, you will rekindle with your old friends that you haven't thought about in years. Your old social media friends. You're going to be hitting up people you've never thought about hitting up any time prior to that, and you're going to be checking in on them. And that's going to be a good coping mechanism for you, is checking up on all your old friends. Restoring the relationship with your parents, doing stuff with your parents. And there's gonna like that one relationship is done. That one relationship crashed you, but every single other relationship you have in your life that's not romantic is going to be a lot better now. So that's the pro that I'm going to leave with you guys. That I'm going to be leaving with you guys today. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you stick all the way through the end, thank you so much. I honestly do appreciate it. I don't know why you would have, but I love you guys. You guys really do mean the world to me, and I'm not joking when I say that at all. Like, I don't know how to prove that to you guys really, but I'm not joking, guys. I'm really not. I love you guys. Oh, that was hard to say, but I love my viewers. I love YouTube. I love, yeah. I think I'm gonna cry again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Stop securing the container.